Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for this next episode of my series of Star Trek ship primers. I know last time I said that my next video was going to be about Star Trek Lower Decks, because I had thought maybe I would just skip Picard because there are so few new ship designs in that show. However, on the advice of Professor Brainy Specs, I've decided to do a combination covering both Picard and Lower Decks. So we'll start out with Picard. The main ship crewed by our heroes in Picard is the La Sirena, which instead of the usual Starfleet vessel is a Kaplan F-17 speed freighter. This ship could be crewed by one person along with a series of emergency holograms. There is a new starship design from Starfleet we see in the finale of Season 1, named the USS Zhang He, along with many others, of the Inquiry class. This ship, the Zhang He, was commanded by Acting Captain Riker. This ship class is noted for its ease of duplication. The Romulans played a large role in the first season of Picard, and as such, we saw a number of new ship designs for them. We had a large new warbird, and accompanied by several smaller vessels in their fleet. There was also, being operated independently, a bird of prey from the 23rd century that was very similar to the one seen in the original series. Moving on to the show Lower Decks, we see the main ship, the USS Cerritos, which is a California-class starship. All ships from this class are named for cities in California. This design has a lot in common with the old Oberth class ships in that the primary hull is only connected to the secondary hull through the nacelle struts. As standard with Starfleet vessels, the Cerritos is deployed with several shuttlecraft, in particular of Type 6A, as seen here. All the shuttlecraft on the Cerritos are named for California national parks. Another starship seen working alongside the Cerritos is the USS Vancouver, which is a member of the Parliament class. This class specialized in large engineering projects, such as the implosion of a moon seen here. This more unusual design for Starfleet is the Ostler, which is a starship operated by Division 14. This branch of Starfleet was responsible for caring for Starfleet personnel who were the victims of strange accidents. In particular, the Ostler would pick up these personnel and transport them to the rehabilitation facility known as the Farm. The Cerritos also interacted with a number of alien races over the course of the season. One of these was the Galarakians. They had recently joined the Federation, and their culture was built around crystals. Unfortunately, there was a diplomatic misunderstanding that led to a brief conflict before the peace was reestablished. The Cerritos, along with her sister ship, the Merced, were responsible with the study of an ancient generation ship that had been discovered adrift. Interestingly, on board this ship, they found a terraforming emulsion with the ability to transform inorganic material. The Cerritos crew also got into an altercation with a Drukmani salvage ship in a junkyard over the discovery of some old Antares-type ships, which we had first seen in the original series. The Drukmani ship possessed no weapons, but did have a tractor beam. This Klingon design was seen in the holodeck, so it is not certain if it is an actual Klingon ship or not. However, in the holodeck program, it was the Klingon ship of Vindicta, which was the villainous role portrayed by Ensign Mariner. This design seems to contain elements from the Katinga-class battlecruiser, the Bird of Prey, and the Vocha-class cruiser designs. Another major opponent, which was a surprise for the crew, was the Packleads, first seen in the Next Generation episode, Samaritan Snare. At the time, the Packleads were noted for stealing technology from other races, but they were not considered a threat. Over the years, this has definitely changed as they have accumulated enough technology, in this case from over 30 different species, that their ships have become a definite threat to Starfleet. I just want to give a little spoiler warning before I go on, because the ship we will see next was a very surprise entry on the show. It was the USS Titan, the Luna-class starship, commanded by Captain William T. Riker. This ship was first mentioned back in the film Star Trek Nemesis as being Captain Riker's first command. However, the finale episode of Lower Decks Season 1 was the first time the ship had ever appeared on screen. A little fun fact, the design of this class of ship comes from the winning fan entry from a design contest for the Titan book series. And also, as a little bonus, I wanted to look at some classic designs. For all the ships and stations that we've seen in previous Star Treks, they made a reappearance on Lower Decks. For example, there was one episode where some of the crew visited a starship museum, and some of the ships we can see included a Ferengi shuttle, a Tholian ship, a Jemadar attack ship, a work bee, which could be seen typically in dry dock, and a Klingon battlecruiser. The crew also had a meeting with a Klingon bird of prey that was very similar, if not exactly the same, to the classic design. Furthermore, in the museum, we see a Class F shuttlecraft from the original series, a Type 6 shuttlecraft from TNG, and the Vulcan survey ship that appeared in First Contact. During that same episode, we also see the Vulcan shuttle that appeared in Star Trek The Motion Picture. One of the crew members has a flashback to a time that she served on an Olympic-class starship. The ship design first appeared in All Good Things, the finale of TNG. And we also see, of course, Deep Space Nine. Additionally, we see a space dock type starbase appear in a number of episodes. In the intro of each episode, we see, among other things, a battle between some Borg cubes and some Romulan D'Deridex-class warbirds. And last but not least, we see a beautifully recreated Romulan bird of prey, perfectly accurate to its appearance in the original series. With the end of Lower Decks, that brings us to the end of the Ship Primer series for now, at least until some new shows come out. In the meantime, if you'd like more information on Star Trek ships, or other wealth of Star Trek information, I recommend the site Ex Astra Scientia. It's a great website. I go to it a lot, and it was very useful in performing the research for this series. From here on out, I might be branching out into other areas of Star Trek lore, such as uniforms, for example. In the meantime, I appreciate you joining us, and I hope you have a blessed day.